Thank you, Liam. Now, folks, I don't know if you checked your calendars, but today happens to be Monday, which means it's time for my personal favorite segment here. We've, of course, got Meal Prep Monday, and what a guest we have today.
What a guest we have. With Chappie's, walk us through everything that you have prepared for us. It's a lot.
It is a lot, but it all comes from one item.
Wow.
And keeping with the intent in mind for Meal Prep Monday, something that you can do and utilize that protein for other things throughout the week. Something that's quick and easy, throw in the oven, walk away from it, let it roast. But roast chickens are, in this time, economical. It's something that's it's a neutral-based protein, so you can really do anything with flavors. And I know when my boys were growing up in the house and things were lean, roast chicken was a good one to go to, and we utilized it throughout the week for different things. Obviously, soups, and we make tacos, we make salads, but it's a real economical way to go, and there's a lot of utilization with the chicken itself.
Yeah, walk me through the seasonings here.
So I like to use a lot of aromatics. Usually when I get my chicken, I'll dry it off. Whatever kind of seasoning you like. I use a blackening seasoning because I like the flavors, the profiles. I'll usually stuff the chicken with a bunch of aromatics, rosemary, sage, thyme, things like that. And then I just roast away some baby potatoes, some small carrots, and then later in the week you can utilize that same vegetable and protein for different things. Obviously chicken noodle soup, a great time of year for some bone broth and some real hearty soup. Tacos or salads or power bowls or really anything.
You can kind of do a lot of this. Now,
Very versatile.
Jim, you mentioned dry seasoning. I think dry is the exact word I would use to describe the chicken that I make. So
You're getting there.
So how do you avoid your chicken drying out when you make it? I feel like that's always the hard part.
Honestly, for at-home cooks and stuff, I always suggest having a thermometer. And you want to be aware of that. I initially roast my chicken with a lid on it. I'll use like a casserole dish like this and roast the lid on it to keep some of those juices, some of that rendered fat right in the container. And then I'll take the lid off to kind of roast that skin and render the rest of the fat off that skin to get a little bit of crispiness. But ideally, you want to check your poultry with a meat thermometer.
Something Tyler obviously has in his home.
Yeah, I'm a great cook.
Well, it's a good thing to have, especially with poultry. You want to make sure that it's cooked all the way to 165 degrees. Correct, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now we were talking also before about how Chappie's mobile culinary experience is not staying strictly mobile.
Yeah.
We have a new look. Can we talk a little bit about what you guys have coming up next for the people that want to, maybe they're like me, they're hearing you say all this stuff, but maybe I still can't make a chicken taste good and I want to try yours.
Yeah. We have some exciting things happening. We're pairing with Bright Ideas Brewery in Westfield, Mass. We have a kitchen going in there that'll be our home base.
Wow.
We love the staff there. The beer's fantastic. It's a wonderful space. We have a beautiful wood-fired pizza oven that came over in pieces from Italy that's now in our kitchen. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited to bring some unique things to the area and to put out some wonderful wood-fired pizzas. And I think that it's really going to be something special. So you'll be able to find us there. You'll also be able to see our trailer out on the road as well. So
Still mobile.
Yeah, still
Yes,
mobile.
Still mobile.
that
I'll
aspect's
be
still there.
stationary, but the trailer will be mobile, yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I heard pizza and I immediately said, I'm down. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Absolutely.
Yeah, it certainly works for me. Now, Jim, for anybody who wants to catch you for right now, though, before this opens, where can we find Chappie's?
So right now we're kind of stationary at Bright Ideas. We're about two and a half weeks out on our build and getting inspections and stuff. So we've had our trailer there. We will be doing a St. Patty's Day dinner with Tin Bridge Brewing, our friends over at Tin Bridge. One of the days that I won't be at Bright Ideas, but it's a plated dinner. It's a ticketed dinner, but some unique St. Patty's Day items there. So there's some opportunities to catch us a few other places until you see us mostly at Bright Ideas, and then you'll see the trailer out on the road too.
And walk us through each of these dishes. Like, which one's the easiest? Which one's the fastest? Which ones hold the best?
Well, I think once you roast the chicken, right? So
Everything's easy after.
Everything's easy after. It's just utilizing that chicken for different things. So once you have your meal, you put the rest of your chicken in the fridge. Easy to break it down into make a little mirepoix, carrots, onions, celery. Some bone broth. I love chicken bone broth. And the rest of your chicken. And you let that cook down, add some noodles at the end. Great meal. And then we made some tacos. We pulled the rest of the meat and some small street tacos. You can layer them with anything. I like some black beans and some jalapeno, a little red onion. or utilizing one of your breasts for a power bowl or a salad.
There you go.
Easy stuff, but utilization of one product and
Stretch
use
it
throughout
out.
the week.
Stretch it
The
out.
great thing with chicken is you can get a small one or you can get a big one.
Yeah,
There
you
you
can make it
go.
work. Now, Jim, I got to tell you, I am over the moon excited to finally get to try this stuff. It's been almost torturing us in our studio over there. But thanks so much for joining us for this
thank
hour.
you.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely.
course.
We'll be back at 8 and give you the official review of
Get to
everything
try
we have
it.
here. Well, thank you, Liam. Now, folks, if you didn't know, today is, in fact, Monday, which is why it's time for Meal Prep Monday. And I got to tell you, just based off the aroma that we've had in our studio for the past couple of hours, this is one of my most anticipated yet.
Absolutely. We have Jim here from Chappie's. We are going to be trying these soups right here. Can you kind of walk us through what's in there?
Sure. So basically, I took our roasted chicken, and after we utilized it for one meal, we took all the meat off the chicken. You have a mirepoix, which is basically onions, carrots, celery, some aromatics, some fresh parsley, some sage, some thyme. I like to use bone broth. It's a little richer flavor. And then just some egg noodles, real simple, something you can kind of throw together and put on the stove. And let it coast.
I bet this stores really well too.
Yes, it does actually. It stores very well. You could freeze it without the noodles, and just add the noodles as you go. But yeah, it's the utilization of product again. Cooking something on Monday that you can use throughout the week. So
I was just going to say it's delicious. I mean,
It is so
I
good.
took one
It
bite
is
and I
so
was like,
good.
wow.
I
I'm not-
saw it on your face.
Yeah, I'm not usually a huge soup guy. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. But this is some next level stuff right here. Now, but obviously, the soup isn't the only thing that we have in our hands. I mean, we do have, of course, the roast chicken itself right on the
Yes.
table.
Yep.
Now,
some potatoes and carrots.
yeah,
Perfect dinner.
And I asked before, I was like, when I make chicken,
Yep.
it doesn't smell like this.
No.
It's not as moist as this appears. So, what is the secret when it comes to this?
Yeah.
So
base
again,
roasted chicken?
like I said, roasting at a moderate temperature, 375, 400. I like to cover my chicken initially and render some of that fat off and let it kind of set and soak in that fat with the juice. And then I'll take the top off and let it, roast the skin, render the skin a little bit so it gets crispy. But again, just monitoring the temperature of your bird when you're cooking it. Utilization of a meat thermometer, which is always good to have on hand, especially when cooking poultry, because you want to make sure it's cooked properly and cooked all the way. But you kind of, and you always have a carry time with any type of meat or roast that you're cooking. When you bring it out of the oven, it's going to continue to cook. That's something to keep in mind. So, especially the larger piece of protein, it's going to continue to cook for longer. So you'll want to take it out a little early and let it rise to that 165 temperature or whatever temperature you're trying to get with the protein that you're using. But yeah, utilization, initially until you get that kind of feel for how long things take and what you want to do.
What are we looking for nutrition of each of these?
Well, so chicken is very lean, obviously. The dark meat's going to have a little more fat content to it. But the white meat, so like with this, if I didn't forget the lettuce, this would have been more of a salad, but I made it kind of into a power bowl. You could utilize, extra protein with some beans. But very lean, all white meat, a bunch of vegetables, but very filling, very nutrient rich. And even the tacos, I mean, you can make them as kind of, healthy as you want, or you can add a little bit of other stuff
Dump
if
some
you want
queso on
queso
them.
verde
Sour
or something like
cream,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, it's chicken itself is a very lean and nutritional protein to have.
Now,
So-
Jim, before we let you go,
Yeah.
there is a big development going on with Chappie's. Let's just briefly, what's going on with you guys before I spoil it?
So we're getting ready to open a kitchen at Bright Ideas Brewery with our friends in conjunction with Bright Idea Brewery in Westfield. We're really excited about it. We have a wood-fired pizza oven that came over from Italy, an Italian wood-fired oven. So we'll be bringing some wood-fired pizzas to Western Mass. We're very excited about that. We're very excited about the space there. They have it's a great opportunity, some wonderful space for catering, for private events, and their beer is phenomenal. So
I can look. I'm all in for it, Jim. Thanks so much for joining us.
we
We're going
appreciate
to
it.
keep you updated on our website for more details. Until then, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
And we're going to eat those.